natural voice. But anyway, good to be here. We just finished the success trip that was offered by Greater China. We just finished the cruise from Shanghai to Korea and back to Shanghai.
Not landing in Korea.
We did not land in Korea. We didn't even set foot on Korea. So we went into port, but we stayed there. We could not get off the ship. All right, so don't worry, we will give you worse. Okay. Let's tell everybody our story, okay? Just out of curiosity, how many of you are here to see us for the first time? You have never seen us before.
Wow.
Wow.
We have
Congratulations, David and Hendrik. You got a brand new crowd here. Maybe we can come up with a new story.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, our story began back in 1988. Okay.
I was a computer programmer for US Air.
And I was a lawyer. Well, I'm still a lawyer, but chose not to practice law. And what happened? Why did you join your scheme?
Well, because US Air merged with another airline, and they wanted us to move to a small town far away from where we were, like 8-hour drive. And if I moved there, I would be promoted, to the position that I call it my dream position. How many of us are still working during the daytime?
Well,
Do you work hard? We work hard at what we do, right? So why do we work hard? Because of money, because of promotion. But then your boss is going to tell you, wow, you work very hard, I do see that. But we're going to give the promotion to that guy this time. Because he's married, he has 3 kids, he's the only one working. But your husband is a lawyer. We'll think about you next time.
So because of the transfer, they're offering her promotion and a raise, right? Very good. Except me. What's going to happen to me? Right? We're moving to a tiny, teensy little place. For me to find another job like what I had will not be possible. So the decision was not to move. All right? After all, the husband's job is more important. Right? I think I'm living dangerously. or the wife is like, no! Right? But anyway, my position was pretty high up and well paid, so for me to start over in a small place, it doesn't make sense. She can find another job fairly easily. So you just have to stay. But once she told the company that she's not moving, you know what happens? You're on your own, kid. Right? When the company wants you, you're this. When you didn't listen to the company, you go very fast. Right? So then we have to decide what we're going to do. Okay, previous to this, when our friends come and tell us about business opportunities, we say, we are professionals. You don't sell. Sound familiar? Right? So now the situation is different. When people come talk to us, hey, yeah, we're interested, right?
Yeah.
So we were thinking of a plan B, so to speak.
And you know what happens to first-generation immigrant when you go to a new country, especially Chinese. So we thought, well, maybe we could open a Chinese restaurant. But there's a problem, because there's only about 6 dishes that I cook that's presentable.
And on top of that, you're super slow when it comes to dishes. So if you open a restaurant and a customer all comes in and places an order, you know, maybe an hour afterwards. So the customer had turned into a skeleton, starved to death already, so no good. Okay, plus, when I was a student, I used to work as a waiter in Chinese restaurants. I knew working in a restaurant is no fun. When it's busy, you make money, but you become so, when there's no business, you wonder how I'm going to survive, right? You make no money. So restaurants, at least for me, no good.
So we're looking at what else can we do. So we thought, well, maybe we could do a franchise. I think you have 7-Eleven here, right? So we thought maybe we could open a 7-Eleven. But we looked into it and found out how much does it cost for taking out the franchise for 7-Eleven. It costs over $100,000 US, and we did not have that kind of savings.
Well, being an airline employee has got one advantage. You can fly around very cheaply. So our belief at that time is the more we fly, the more money we save. Makes sense, right? Airplane tickets is essentially free. Hotel is 50% discount. Car rental, 50% discount. Think of the money you save by going. Right? So we flew around a lot, so save a lot of money.
So that one was no good. So we said, well, how about maybe I do some life insurance? Any of you are insurance agents here? Okay. So what do you have to do to become an insurance agent? You have to study, right? After you study for a certain time, you take an exam to pass it. Then you get to be an official agent. Then what happens for an agent? Because the insurance company changes so much every year, you have to go to school and be retested. For me, when I graduated from the University of Maryland, I call it is Army TOEFL that I finished the school. So after that, I want to go to do like a second job, to be something that I have to go to school and take a test. I'll never make it. So the last choice we had at that time was to do real estate. But I thought, hey, real estate is kind of fun. Maybe I could, get some house and buy a new house and things like that. And because of that reason, we went to visit one of my girlfriends who just had bought her new house. She just became an agent. And she said, come on over. This is a house built on the golf course. You gotta look at it, you fall in love with it, which is true. As a family of 4, if you look at it, we live in a little house, and we go look at someone else's new home, right? Beautiful. Living room, large. Oh, the kitchen's even better. Got skylight. The master bedroom, even more wonderful, because when I walked into the master bath of the house, I saw not just his and her sink, but also his and her toilet. So I told Pat, hey, they're like us, workers, office workers. If they can't do this on the side, how about we buy a house here too?
Well, we went to see that couple's house, right? She went, wow, look at the living room. Wow, look at the family room. Wow, look at the kitchen. Wow, look at the bedroom. Wow, look at the master bath. I said, wow, look at the price. But I know if my wife wants to buy a house and I don't buy, you know what will happen to me? I won't have much of a life. So we started looking for a new house, okay? Finally, we found one that will be delivered 1 year later. All right? We calculated, well, we could, on paper, we could afford the house, but we'll be stretched very thin. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have friends in America. They buy a new house, you go in the living room, empty. Why? They haven't got the money to buy furniture, right? They're house poor, right? Or they went to a spare bedroom. Look at what happened here. We have to wait for a while to save up money before we can buy furniture. So we don't want to be in that situation. So we want to look for some extra income. Okay? Essentially we created a need for ourselves to make some extra money. All right? So we have to look for something to answer that need. And August 1988, a friend of ours, or our children's karate instructor, called us up. Pat and Marguerite, would you like to make some extra money? Now, if I ask you guys this question, what's your answer? Yeah. Sure, right? But then the next question you ask is, what is it? He said, new skin.
So when I heard the word new skin was only 4 years old at that time. And I said, what's new skin? Sounds like some kind of skincare, cosmetic. This man is doing skincare. There's something wrong with him. So we told him, yes, we're nice, but we're very busy.
Well, we are Chinese, right? We don't say no in your face. Right? So when he says new skin, he said, well, that's kind of interesting. But recently we have been very busy. Okay? Let's talk about it some other time. Right? Sound familiar? Yeah. You're busy. Okay?
So the second time he called us,
we're still busy.
the third time he called us,
unbelievably busy. I don't know why we're so busy, but we're busy.
We're so lucky because he did call us the fourth time. If he did not call us the fourth time, we would not be standing here today. New skin was still the same. So when he called us, we said, wow.
This guy would not let us go until we buy something from him. Right? So we decided, okay, we'll invite him over and buy the cheapest thing he has to offer. Just do it. Okay, I've done you a favor, so please leave. Right? Sounds familiar? Yeah? That's what we had in mind when we invited him over. But when he showed up, you know, his home tie looked different. He's got more hair. What happened to you? He said, well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I used this product called Nutrio and look, I got very good results. It's okay. At least one product worked, okay?
Then he proceeded to do a facelift for me. So do you know New Skin back then only had 18 products, and one of our famous products is called facelift powder and lift activator. So how many of you used facelift?
Good. A lot of you. So you know what it would do. Okay. So he did the half-face demo with facelift on her face. After 20 minutes, it went up like that. So, oh, 2 products worked. So it's okay, all right, you got our attention. What is this is all about? So he proceeded to explain to us what nuisance is all about. In this year, out this year. Okay. Finally, he pulled out his check. He said, look. This is my check for August. We look at it, oh, $2,400. I look at him, you know, Hong Tai, Dr. Wang, is a PhD in physical chemistry. He's not a scientist, not a businessman. He's a scientist. So, okay, if he can make $2,400 after 3 months in New Skin, the 2 of us should be able to do it. Maybe not as fast, okay? How about a year? Because if we can do that in a year, the house will be no problem, right? So that's what got us into New Skin, with the goal of making $2,400 after 1 year. And what happened after 1 year? How many of you think we made $2,400? Piece of cake, right? Such people. Fast talker. 2,400, you know, nothing. Right? True? How many of you think we made it? $2,500. Good. You're wrong.
There's no free lunch.
We made 2,100. Okay? But that was good enough to get us a house.